Since the Broncos season ended 2 weeks ago, the Greg Penner Group has been full speed ahead looking for a new head coach. Hey Broncos country, I'm Lori Lattimore-Volkman, and this is The Roundup. So I apologize for not producing a show for the last week of the season against the Chargers. Truth is, I did record one, but then the universe was against me and I could not get it done in time. Okay, Broncos country, I'm going to say it one last time, probably forever. Let's ride. But thankfully, the universe was not against the Broncos as they manhandled, at least somewhat, the Chargers in the final week for a big
Guys were just
win.
making plays. I thought Jerry Jeudy was special this game and also all year.
Wilson is chased. Keeps the play alive. Throws deep down the field for Jeudy. He's got it! Inside the 5!
I just felt like everybody was just executing their assignment. Everybody was just doing their job. You know, once we got that going, everything just started rolling.
What a throw from Russell Wilson.
I seen the same Russ that didn't give up, you know, even though we didn't have the season that we wanted, you know. He's stayed the same throughout the course of the year, you know, and he just never gave up, no put his head down. He just kept his head up and kept grinding and kept playing, you know, and we just finished the season off strong how we wanted to.
And although it did not change a single thing about our losing season, it was an important victory. I do believe there are a few times that there are actual moral victories, and that was one of them.
Four-man pressure, Wilson a deep drop, in trouble. Steps to his left, rolls out of trouble, now throws the ball. He wants Jeudy. Judy's there inside the 10, forced out of bounds, inside the 5, and a dime to Jerry Jeudy.
You want to find your magic game. You want to recapture that. And I felt like over the past few weeks, you know, I feel like we found that again.
Our team finished the season with a win, feeling like winners, feeling like they could improve and they could be a good team, and not like the losers they had been most of the season. That is important as you go into the offseason and try to maintain and build and improve the culture. But of course, the most important way to build that culture will be with a new head coach. And perhaps that final game, even the final 2 weeks of the season, would help the new head coach decide this team is not completely broken. Has problems for sure, but not the dumpster fire that it seemed. In fact, it was mostly a coaching disaster.
We finished the season strong, got a big win, man, and got the San Broncos country off with a good taste in their mouth going into the offseason. It's gonna be better next time, I promise.
So getting the right man as head coach is going to be job number 1 for Greg Penner and the ownership group. And that is their main goal right now. The list of candidates is vast, but there are some clear front runners. Former Saints head coach Sean Payton, former Stanford head coach David Shaw, current Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, 49ers defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans, Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris, former Colts and Lions head coach Jim Caldwell, and of course, current defensive coordinator for the Broncos, Ejiro Evero. Jim Harbaugh had been in the running and was probably the top of the list, but earlier this week, he decided he was staying in the college ranks at Michigan. But that vaulted Sean Payton to the top of the list, if he wasn't already there. Realistically, there are only 3 coaches in the running: Sean Payton, Dan Quinn, and David Shaw as perhaps a sleeper candidate. If Payton does become the head coach, Shaw is a good candidate for offensive coordinator. But we do not want to put the cart before the horse because we don't have a head coach yet. The Broncos have already interviewed most of the candidates and will possibly be bringing in a few for second interviews. That has not yet been determined, but we do know that the Sean Payton interview went well, and that is a good sign. In fact, there are a lot of signs pointing to the fact that there is mutual interest between both the Broncos and Payton.
Sean Payton was impressed with the Broncos during his interview Monday. I can confirm that. I went to dinner with Sean. He was. And the Broncos, he is their number 1 candidate.
Greg Penner had suggested in his final press conference that he was looking for a big hitter. And so we know he wants to swing for the fences and go after a big name. Sean Payton obviously fits that bill. And there's a lot of reason that he makes sense.
There's a lot of things that we know make Denver a good job. First of all, the defense is good. So he didn't have to clean up both sides of the ball. They got a lot of talent on defense. He's not going to disappear. He's going to be in big games. They have a clear issue that everybody agrees with, O-line. They have an excellent defense, and they have accumulated a first-round pick they'll give back to New Orleans to get Sean.
For a team with a quarterback like Russell Wilson, who needs a specific coach to handle his specific skill set with the game design, it makes even more sense to have a head coach with that kind of offensive intuition. Coward also reported that Wilson knows he needs fixing and believes Payton would be a good fit for him. Even more important for those two to get along.
Now let's get to the Russell Wilson piece, and this is substantial. But the reality with Russell Wilson, most people understand the problem with Russell right now. He's too isolated, and Russell's aging as a player, and he's getting a little cringy and lacks self-awareness, and they've got to get him out of this isolation tunnel with him and Ciara. They believe in Denver, Sean can fix it. Sean, I know, can fix it. And Russell Wilson has contacted Sean, legally, by the way, through channels. He wants Sean Payton. He needs fixing. He knows he needs fixing.
Finally, Payton has made several comments himself that showed Denver as a true landing point for him as head coach. He mentioned that a stable owner is even more important than a very good quarterback, and seemed very willing to work with Russell Wilson and address the issues we had on offense. That bodes well.
Ownership quarterback. Is that how you view it?
Yeah. And so I think that element's critical, the ownership element, and philosophically, because and I've said this, and I hope it's not looked at as an indictment on certain teams, but there are a number of teams. It's hard to win in this league, and it's certainly harder to win in this league if there's internal problems before you even play an opponent.
Right.
No doubt, he likes the money that the billionaire owners of the Broncos can potentially offer.
It's fairly clear. Great defense, right? Richest owners in the league, both impressed with each other, solve the offensive line, free agency in the draft, and can Sean fix Russ? I believe the answer is yes.
So if Payton wants the Broncos, and the Broncos want Payton, and Russell Wilson wants Payton, the only thing that could get in the way is whether the Broncos can offer the Saints enough compensation. The GM Mickey Loomis and Payton, who are friends, both noted last weekend that the compensation won't necessarily have to be the same from all the teams interested. In fact, it just comes down to what they can offer. While some teams like the Texans have a lot of draft capital, the Broncos have a lot of cash.
Each team would be just like we're having that discussion. There'd be pros, and that's the significance, though, of the upcoming week or two, of meeting some of these individuals, asking some questions, maybe some difficult questions, and trying to get answers so that we're not having difficult questions when you've already taken the
I doubt Penner wants to hamstring the team by giving away too many draft picks. A lesson we learned this year, perhaps. But if it's going to take money, Denver has that. And they seem to believe it'd be worth every penny. Broncos country likely agrees.
That ownership and management group knows if they bring in Sean Payton, it's going to cost a lot. I mean, draft capital and salary. But if you bring him in, he's a proven winner. There's not going to be any doubt about whether you're going to win or not.
And that is their main goal right now. Thanks, everyone, for a great first season of The Roundup. For the next few months in the offseason, I will be producing the show every other week, unless there's breaking news. So as soon as we have a new head coach, I will be back for sure. If not, I will see you in 2 weeks. Let's ride into the offseason.
Fake it to Williams. Wilson flips it, and what a catch by Andrew Beck. Just a blown coverage. I don't know if Jordan Brooks was expected to carry that. Great catch by Beck.
The rookie out of Liberty who started the last 2 games. And they lost the football. Denver says they have it. And they do.
Murray, the pitch, finds a hole. Latavius Murray puts a move on. He's off and running. Loose is Murray all the way inside the 25 of the Panthers. gets it back into after that big penalty moved him back.
Gordon the back, 2nd and 7. Rush going deep. Oh, and he's got him. He's got him at the 5. Hamler.
12-yard sack, choosing not to use that last time out. Cost him about 15 seconds. Garoppolo just trying to get it out. Wilson has it on the run. Lost the football. Denver's got it. And Denver's got this one. P.J. Locke, the dime. 6 DB, knocked it out.
But this is a key drive right here. This is going to tell us a lot.
Here's Russell Wilson to throw. Deep shot, right sideline. Got a man. It's caught.
Wilson is chased. Keeps the play alive. Throws deep down the field for Judy. He's got it. Inside the 5.
You've got Derwin James back there, and he's looking at Cortland Sutton. He's trying to figure out where Russell Wilson is throwing this. And it's right to Jerry Jeudy. I'm surprised Jerry Jeudy came from the far side of the field.
Out of the gun, Wilson releases it, and it's Marlon Mack chewing up real estate. Could Mack go? He will. Touchdown, Denver.
And they've come right into a blitz. Willie Gay 50, Justin Reed 20. And perfect throw. Good job by Wilson staying in there, and then Marlon Mack makes it all pay off. A big stiff arm out in the open field on L'Jarius Sneed.
Wilson floats it. There's Judy. Pass caught. Judy still going. Down inside the 20. And touchdown, Denver Broncos. That's one of those young corners for Seattle. Kobe Bryant playing the slot. He's locked up man coverage. It shouldn't even have been contested. Jerry Jeudy got past him so fast that if Wilson had been able to get the ball out and hit Christian Kirk.
1st down and 10. Lawrence throwing and intercepted. K'Wan Williams. The pick. Just had himself a game.
He's making this play with a cast on his hand.